Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to do something different. We're in Thompson Canyon in Thompson, Utah. We're going to explore an old ghost town. Back in the mid-1800s to early 1900s, there used to be a coal mine. Had a bunch of houses, had a mercantile store. We're going to try and do a little metal detecting. Maybe we can find the company tokens, which is probably what they use to pay their employees. We'll look at some of the old houses. There's a Dutch oven we're looking at right now, which I used to bake their bread and whatever else they baked. They sold it in the mercantile store to the miners. So we're going to check this place out and hope you enjoy the video. This is the, it's called the Dutch oven. That's what they use to do their baking. I guess they bake bread. They sold it in the store. It's got a protective roof over it just to preserve it as much as possible. Mid-1800s, so late or early 1900s. So it's pretty old. Looks like it's been modified a little bit with some fire brick. And around the corner we have an old house. Not sure what it was for. We're going to go check that out. Well, this is one of the structures. Not sure what it was for. History's kind of vague. Looks like it could have been a storage. Could have been somebody's house. Not really sure, but it's definitely original. I guess you had to be a midget to live in here because the ceiling's pretty low. But just the fact that it's still here after all that time is amazing. Look at those big old timbers to hold up that roof. I would say this looks more like a storage area because the roof is ceiling height's pretty low. There's another one hidden. Not sure what this is. Yeah, let's see if we can get in there, see what this thing is. Well, there's a fireplace. Looks like maybe a frame for a bed. No. Not very tall ceiling height, that's for sure. This is also all BLM land, so there's a lot of dry camping in here. The only problem is getting to it. Some of the road has a very steep, I don't know what you want to call it, washouts, where a river comes across the road, so it's pretty steep. I wouldn't really come in here with anything other than a van. Try to pull a travel trailer through that, you're probably not going to make it. Now, there's another structure right there. We're going to see if we can get to it. I'm not sure what it is. Let's see if we can get into this one. It's pretty grown in. Yeah. Oh yeah, leftover building. There's a couple walls, no ceiling. Yeah, that's old. So it looks like a lot of the shelters, I guess you can call them, around the Dutch oven were probably used as housing for the people who actually ran the oven and did all the baking. Yeah, difficult to say. A lot of the history's been lost over the years. The campground we're staying at, Ballard's RV Resort, we will do a video on them later. They're in Thompson Springs, Utah. They have a nice little book about the history of this place. It's not 100%, but At least it gives you an idea on what they were doing here. It was a coal mine. I think they were mining anthracite coal, which is, from what I understand, is pretty high grade. Same type of coal they were mining in Centralia, Pennsylvania before that caught on fire. So we're going to go check out the mercantile store. Some of the other structures. There was a hotel next to the mercantile store. There was also a large building we're assuming was the housing for the owner of the mine. And then we'll drive up the road a little farther, see if we can find the mine. Apparently there's a bunch of other buildings up there we can check out, or remnants of a building. So let's take a ride, see what it looks like. This is what the road looks like we're driving through. It's all dirt. I guess you can call it a canyon road. We're on our way to the mercantile store where they used to sell items to the coal miners. And then we'll go up to the coal mine. From what I understand, they buried the entrance but you can still see where it was. Maybe we can find a sample of coal. Or, if we're lucky, we can find a company token that they paid the miners with to use at the camp store. So basically these guys are working for probably free, if that's the case. So this is the old cemetery. That's part of this ghost town. It's all blocked off so we can't go in. Not really sure how old this thing is. We can't really get to the stones to see if there's any dates on them. So here's a small site. You can barely see the placard from here. Looks like 1918. Yeah, there's no way to tell unless we really get in there and look. Looks like a lot of them are unmarked. Well, marked with stones and some trinkets, but there's no real dates on them or names. That's unfortunate. Looks like quite a few of them in here. Well, it's a nice peaceful place for a cemetery. They got an amazing backdrop. Nice and quiet up here. Can't think of a better place for a cemetery. We want peace and quiet for all of eternity. Yeah, here's a couple more shacks where the workers were living. This one looks in a little better shape. So, yeah, ceiling height's not too bad. If you're 6 foot, you might be able to get up to this point right here, and that's it. Yeah, it looks like a big old boulder came off the mountain, caved this thing in. Yeah, probably not a good choice of places to live. But still pretty interesting to see this old stuff. I think there's a couple more down here somewhere. Yeah, there's one there. There's left over right here. There's one over here. It's all caved in. Yeah, big old boulder right in the middle of it. My guess would be he came off of that, crushed it. Yeah, there might be a couple more further down, but I'm not going to go take a look. Don't want to get hit by a rattlesnake. Oh yeah, The boulder definitely took out that roof. There is the old mercantile building. To the left of it was a hotel for the workers. And to the right, which there's no building left, was the owner's quarters or house. So let's go check out the mercantile and see what it looks like. Alright, this is the old hotel for some of the workers, or boarding house, I guess you can call it. Not much left to it. Yeah, it needs a little bit of work. It might buff out. And over to the right is the mercantile building. And then to the right of that used to be the house that the owner lived in, that owns the mercantile. So I don't think that building is there anymore. Yeah, it's pretty old. Building's over 100 years old. Looks like it might have been at least 2 stories. Yeah, looks like a little fire pit. Somebody was down here partying at one time. A little bit of modern day petroglyphs. So over here somewhere used to be the owner's quarters or his house. I don't see any remnants of that. Well, yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, here's an old abandoned car next to the boarding house. You guys know what it is, or what it used to be. Leave a comment below, I'd be curious. Yeah, I don't even see a registration tag or serial number or anything on here. Well, that's the boarding house. What's left of it. We're going to continue up the road, check out the mine, see what we can find. Well, it looks like we might have found some of the coal mine. Maybe the entrance to it. Definitely a building here. That's definitely coal. Well, I would have to say finding the entrance to the mine is a bust. We did come across this huge pile of coal. And there is an old structure right down in there. So we were told that the entrance to the mine was buried or covered, so I'm sure they blasted it just to seal it off so people wouldn't go in there. Of course, that was 100 years ago, so could be anywhere. Well, it was a fun adventure anyway. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's something different. If you see us on the road, say hi. Happy camping.